Okay, on this week's video on a wealthy mindset, I want to take an idea from Ecker's book, The Millionaire Mind, and expand on it. So in Hof's book, he talks about this very important point. He says that poor people want to get paid for their time, while rich people want to get paid for their results. Now, I just want to expand on this for a moment to show you how important it is if you want to become a millionaire and if you want to have a wealthy mindset to understand why you must always want to get paid for your results. So to illustrate this example, if you look at this survey done by PayScale, it's a very recent survey, and they found that the average salary among all of these states or provinces in the United States is only about $4,400. And if we bump that up to $5,000 per month as the average pay, you can see that it would take a ridiculous amount of time to actually earn $1 million. It would take 200 months or 16.6 years if you get paid for your time in order to make $1 million. So I hope you can see that getting paid for your time is possibly one of the worst ways for you to become wealthy. Now let me show you another example. Let's say you were paid for results. Let's say you were a salesperson and you were paid $100 commission for every so if you make a 10,000 units in sales, you will make $1 million. If you get paid $1,000 commission when you make 1,000 unit sales, you would make $1 million. Now you could make this in a day, in a month, or in a year, depending on how much sales experience you have. But it won't take you 16 years to make this kind of sales. In fact, I have gotten some of these results in a day. So really, you want to get paid for your results, not for your time, if you really want to get rich. I hope you get this point. Now, talking about sales, I know some of you listening might say, well, I'm not into sales. Now that's a really important thing to zero out and talk about as well. See, selling is not a bad thing, because if you offer more value than the price that you ask for, if you think about it, if you are the salesperson, you are doing your customers a huge favor. I mean, think about it. If somebody is desperately needing to know how to solve, say, a particular illness, and a particular doctor knew the answer, so a person's health is worth much more value than the price that they paid for. I'll use an example that for me personally, if I sell a program that I recommended it to someone else that teaches them how to increase their wealth, and they paid a price for it and they make thousands of dollars more, I've done that person a favor. So that's how, if you look at sales as offering more value than the price you ask for, you should enjoy being a salesperson. Okay, now let me give you my observations about the rich and the poor. I find that poor people, they hate to sell because they don't understand that it's all about improving another person's life by offering more value, while rich people love to sell because they understand that they want to get paid for results. Now poor people hate people selling to them, and I've seen this time and time again when people say, oh, you know, I hate it when people give me the hard sell. But rich people love people selling to them because they know that they can always say no if they're not interested, but if they find that the value is higher than the price that they ask for, they're gladly willing to buy the product or the service if it improves their lives. The other observation I find that poor people don't even want to get paid for selling. Now this is a very important point, because most people don't even realize that every single day they are selling. If you watch a great movie and it was really amazing, the first thing you do is you tell your friends, like, oh my goodness, I saw this movie, it's awesome, you have to go and watch it. What have they done? They have sold something, but they're not getting paid for it. Another example, they go to a restaurant and they find that the service is great, the meal is great, the price is great, and they go to their friends and they say, oh my goodness, I went to this great Italian restaurant down the street and it was so awesome, you have to go check it out. What have they done? They just sold their friends on going to the restaurant, but they're not getting paid for it. While rich people love getting paid for selling. So these are some of the observations that I've made. I hope that you find some value out of it. Now, how do you learn to become good at selling? Now, I learned this the hard way because I spent 8 years in a job, and my job I actually got to a pretty high level. I got to become the head of a company, managing over 300 staff, and I was always I was the chief operating officer, so I was always into operations, and I never understood why I couldn't get rich until I started getting into businesses that required me to sell. So let me show you some pictures here. So this is when I got into network marketing, and I was promoting um, vitamins to people. And this is a great thing because when you sell health, it's the value is much better than the price. So now I have over 10,000 distributors in 10 different countries making sales of these vitamins, and I get paid a percentage out of every one of these sales. Another example is when Bob Proctor launched the SGR briefcase, and this was an awesome time for me because I organized a lot of sales meetings to share this with people. And if you can teach someone to get rich, hey, it's worth any price. So this is how I actually got started into sales, and the reason I share this with you is, like I said, I spent 8 years in corporate life not realizing that once I started getting into a position where I was paid for results rather than for managing people, then my income started to skyrocket. So the takeaway points here is that, number one, you need to check your attitude about selling. Remember that selling is actually a key to delivering results, and if you want to be rich, you got to learn to be good at selling. Now, always try and focus on value, whether you're selling or buying a product. Value is what we're looking for because money is just a medium of exchange. If you exchange money for something of higher value, that allows you to create a upward cycle of increasing more and more wealth in your life. Number three, improve your selling skills. Now, selling skills are required everywhere. Look, if you go for a job interview, you're selling yourself. If you're going on a date, you're selling yourself. So aside from just the skills of sales as a salesperson, whether you're an affiliate or a network marketer or a salesperson for your company, selling skills are required in almost every single aspect of your life. Number four, get paid for the selling that you already do. So if you're already recommending movies, or you're already recommending books to your friends, why not sign up as an affiliate? If you really like a book, get an affiliate link from Amazon and then send it out. So start getting used to getting paid for selling, because it's something that you should get paid for, because when you recommend something good to someone else, you're helping them and you're doing a service to the company. You should get paid for it. And finally, get paid for results and deliver results. What I mean by that is that, look, if you're already in a job, try and position your job such that you get paid for adding value to the company. And I don't know any employer who would turn down a proposition like that, because your employer only pays you when you deliver the sales results for the company. So if you always offer more value than the price you ask for, it's a really I don't understand why any employer would not agree to that. So I hope you enjoyed these points. Please leave a comment if you agree or disagree. Do let me know what you find helpful, and if there's any other areas that you'd like me to make videos on, and I'll be happy to make videos for you. Thanks again.